Ready, set, secure.
Hello, and welcome to the video series, Planning for a Successful SIM. This is our first video, and today we're going to be talking about what should I be logging to my SIM. But before we get into what data sources you should be bringing into your SIM, let's look into what a SIM should enable you to do. So when we talk SIM, we're talking visibility. And with visibility and in any investigation we do, we want to be able to answer at least these 5 questions. So who, what, where, when, and how. So who, we're talking about what users were involved in the investigation or the potential incident. Were there user credentials that were stolen? Was there a potential insider threat? So understanding what users are involved so we know what actions to take. What servers were involved? What endpoints were involved? What happened? Was this a ransomware event? Was there a phishing email that went out that a user fell for? Understanding what actually happened to build out the context of what responses need to be taken. Where did this happen? Many of you work in large enterprises with offices all over the world. Where do we take the action? Where do we go fix things? And understanding where in our environment these potential threats are. When did it happen? When did they first get in? Did it happen this morning? A few hours ago? Did it happen a few months ago? Building out the timeline of events from when the attacker first got in to when you got it mitigated is key. How did they get in? What did they do to get in? How do we stop it from happening again? So as we build out our capabilities and give ourselves better visibility, we're going to be able to reduce our MTTR, our mean time to respond. This means your SOC analysts are going to be a lot more efficient and can go through a lot more alerts every day. So in a SIM, here's some of the capabilities we believe should be in a modern SIM to help enable your incident responders. So first, the SIM tool is used for incident response. It should enable your incident responders to go from an alert through an investigation to get the full picture. Identity, building out the mapping of your users, where they logged into, where did they log in from, and tracking that throughout your environment is key. Prioritization, SIM tools can throw hundreds to thousands of alerts a day. How do I know which ones are the most important? What should I be looking at? So making sure there's some sort of prioritization in there is key. Real-time monitoring. So we already talked about MTTR. Real-time monitoring is important so that we can build out correlations for quick responses and detections. The quicker we detect it, the quicker we can respond. Event correlation. Your SIM should be able to pull in data sources from all throughout your environment and your security operations suite to build out event correlations and identify suspicious activity. So as we look at some of the core data sources as you're just getting started with your SIM, we really want to make sure you're enabling your identity and your event correlation. So as we look at your domain controller's Active Directory logs and combining that with VPN logs, DHCP, DNS, we're really building out that picture of where did users come in from and tracking them throughout your environment. Anti-malware is also very important so that we have visibility into our endpoints and what's happening on our endpoints. Once we have our core foundation, we build out and really add some more in our security suite of our firewalls, vulnerability logs, IPS, IDS, threat intelligence. So all the different tools that we have in our security operations organization to help protect us, bringing those in to one central area to really build out those correlations is going to enable your team to be more effective and respond to more alerts. So once you have this foundation, now what? What do we do next? How do we keep growing our SIM? So from here, we recommend taking a use case driven approach. So you have your foundation. Now we want to dig into specific use cases that we want to protect against. So we recommend looking at something like the MITRE attack framework. The MITRE attack framework is going to map attacker techniques over the cyber kill chain. So for each of these different techniques, you're going to be able to build out different correlations and try to protect yourself. So what we recommend is identifying your gaps up front of what am I missing from my other security tools and building detections there first. And as you dig into these different techniques, you can actually see here in MITRE ATT&CK's website, they provide some of the common data sources needed to do detections for this. So in this example for OS credential dumping, we can see on the right side of the screen that some of the important data sources for identifying this are going to be your API monitoring, PowerShell logs, command line logs, process monitoring, and making sure you have an understanding of what's happening on your endpoints. So as you continue to drive towards full coverage and full detection across the MITRE attack framework, one thing to keep in mind is cybersecurity is changing every day. Hackers are smart and coming out with new ways to get in, new and very creative. So you want to be up to date on the latest trends and make sure you stay up to date with any updates to the MITRE attack framework itself. So we recommend doing at least a quarterly, yearly review of your SIEM environment, mapping it against the different techniques that you're trying to defend against, and make sure you still have the coverage you expect. Thank you for your time. Reach out if you have any questions. Hope you enjoyed the video.